Testing one, two, one, two. Welcome to House Culture Conversations. And tonight I'm excited to be with Kelly Pickett-barr. How are you?
Hey, hello. Hey, what's up?
It is so good to see you. Thanks for joining us tonight. We
Thanks for
have
having me.
played tag a little bit to get together, so I'm just so excited to have a chance to talk about the music and the culture
Oh,
that
yeah,
we
of
love
course.
so much. We love it so much.
Of course, of course.
So, how are you?
Well, I am, how am I?
Yes, how are you?
I am great. I'm great, enjoying the summer. Well, coming into the fall, but just enjoying the weekend.
I hear you. I hear you. Tell folks a little bit about where you're from, where you grew
Oh,
up.
okay. Well, I am from Chicago, South Side, and I went to Academy of Our Lady, all girl Catholic high school, where we partied and Mendel, our brother schools, as well as your alumni. We started the culture, I believe.
Now, how did you get into house music? Obviously, being the sister school of Mendel is kind of easy, but what was your first kind of introduction to house music?
Well, my first introduction it really was my sisters and my brothers and their friends because they were older than me. And I believe when
Uh,
house music first started, when it started going to the playground and the Mendel, I was in about the eighth grade. So I was able to tag along and kind of get a taste of the culture pretty early, pretty early. And now it's just in, just being in different scenes, different places. Like we used to hang out at McDonald's on 87th and Dante after school, even though I was coming from grammar school. I was there, even though I was coming from grammar school, I was still there. I wasn't supposed to be there, but I was there, yeah, hanging out, Stony Island Park after school. It wasn't supposed to be there, but I was there, hanging out. Started with the culture, listening to house music, mixtapes, mix it with and scratch it with your tape recorder with your boombox, all that good stuff.
that is so much. I mean, you're bringing back so many memories. It is crazy.
Yeah, we were able
It,
to enjoy our high school years, I believe. And really, all you had to do was your homework and clean up and go to a party. We went to parties on weekends and sing and have friends, and that's how the culture started.
Why do you think house music this many years later? I mean, we're talking about 40 years, right?
Yeah,
Why is it still so popular?
I believe because it's a feel good vibe. Also, you can let your head down. It's stress free. Usually, when you go into a house music party, you don't have to worry about shenanigans. You can just connect with old friends, and it's still the same vibe. Good music, and just a good vibe.
Yeah, yeah. I just had it seemed like a guest was trying to come in, and we only got one guest tonight.
That is
I
correct.
tell you, this
Now, okay.
technology will get you going. But it is a music and a culture that has just continued to go everywhere and
Exactly. Yeah.
permeate so many different genres now and types of
Oh
house
yeah.
music. Now, have you kept up with the art form through the years, or do you still like classic old school house?
Well, I've kept up with the art form as I'm getting to enjoy the outdoor parties more that we're having, the day parties more. I enjoy the day parties more, the vibe. I don't know if it has to be to do with being of a particular age, but just it's a refreshing to hear good music. You can see the people. We used to party in the dark. No, it'd be pitch dark, nowhere to sit, and it's but we used to party, sweat, and hang out and meet our friends there. Sometimes like we used to work the coat check at the gallery.
Hmm.
Yeah, me and my
I did not
sister.
know that.
Oh yeah, me, my sister Stephanie Pickett, Michelle Spicer. They're gonna kill me for telling them we used to work the coat check. But yeah, Wayne Williams, Kevin Jackson, we used to Eric E.T. Taylor. Those were some, and Steve Hurley, not to say the few. Those were some of my biggest influences. Those are our friends. Actually, we all live in the same neighborhood, so those are our friends.
Yeah,
So we
I
go to
think
somebody's house,
exactly today. Some of those people are VIPs
worldwide,
worldwide, and we
award
used to,
winning,
yeah, we just
Grammy
hanging out with them.
award winning. Yeah,
Yeah,
if we
just
lived in the same neighborhood, Derek, we was all in the same neighborhood. You wasn't nothing to go
exactly.
with somebody's house, go in the basement. We weren't trying to blow it up, but we was in the basement, dancing, sweating, having a good time. Everybody
Yeah,
go home.
it was great. You know, you make me think about, we didn't need much to have a party. It was great to have Mendo. It was great to have the playground. It was great to have all
Right,
these different things. But we would sit out in front of our house on the porch.
right,
My friends would
exactly.
come by. We'd sit out. We'd have a little box and we'd playing music.
Right. Right, exactly. And friends, and go to the park. That's when you can go to the park, hang out at the tennis courts, and listen to the music. Be there, Farley be there. I mean, like you said, the culture and just enjoying people, connecting. Now, we knew our neighbors. We was friends. Go to each
Yeah,
other's
much
house.
different now. Much different vibe and much
Much
different
different
flavor.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. It
but
definitely
that's why
has
I like
changed.
the vibe that the house music gives, the culture, the togetherness, the free, the love. To me, that's a good spirit. That's a good spirit to have.
Hey, what's happening, Lisa? Good to see you. We are good people. At least that's what we're gonna tell everybody.
Ah, that's what we're gonna tell everybody. This is the PG-13 version.
This is PG-13 version. So now, remember your first Mendel party? What was that experience like for you?
Well, the first bit when you really, because I went to Longwood, we a lot of our students were mental cheerleaders, so going to a party was, supporting your friends, and actually just, it was an all boys school, so we was going to see boys.
I just remember the music would be
They
loud.
hearing the music. Yeah, it was like, it was good vibes together. There was certain songs that, had the crowd going and everybody knew what to do. Just enjoy yourself.
Now,
Oh,
after you left Mendel, that was kind of a warm up most of the time. I mean, so
yeah.
many people that was like the start of the night because Mendel would be done before midnight,
Oh,
and
of course, of
then
course.
you'd be trying to figure out what was next. Most of the time, people
Well,
go get something to eat and then
yeah,
try to
go to
go
White
find some
Castle.
White
Go to
Castle
White Castle.
on 79th.
All 79. Go to White Castle. Yeah, that was about the only place like then they used to be open late.
Yeah,
White
White
Castle.
Castle. Now, a lot of people say they went on 111th, but
To
most of us
the
from the
to the
South
home of the
Side.
hoagie. To the home of the house. Well, we weren't from that side of town, so we going back towards the house.
We're going
We
back
ain't no.
towards the house. But that
We going back.
79th Street, White Castle had a huge parking lot. I just
Oh yeah,
remember just people were hanging in
yeah.
that White Castle parking lot.
A hot car show. We had the cars out there, all the car clubs. Just enjoying house music.
Hmm.
Sometimes dancing in the street. I mean, it was just a good vibe. It was free.
Hey, you're
Having
listening to
fun.
House Culture Conversations with DJ DLott and our guest Kelly Pickett-barr, and we're just having a
Hello.
wonderful time reminiscing about the early days of house and just talking about being at Mendel, going to get something to eat. White Castles was a big choice, but sometimes people
Wendy's. Remember Wendy's on 87th and Stone?
87th, 87th.
Yeah, Miss Wendy's. One of my girls
Absolutely.
worked at Connie Townsend worked at Wendy's. We used to go to get some for free.
I think the statute of limitations has passed, so they can't get
Yeah,
us on
okay, because
that,
it
right?
was for free. It was definitely.
Now, where did you guys go to party? Like you would leave Mendel, then where would you guys hang out?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. You used to go like if you go to Mendel, you go get something to eat. Back then you probably like 15, 16. So me, I probably went home. However, once you start going to like Sawyer's and the playground, the parties last longer, and you just trying to get home by 2. You know what I'm saying? Because it looked like right. You try to get on. Everybody pile into the car. That was one thing. Everybody pile into a Pinto or a Nova, and go to the party.
That's it. That's it.
Right?
Yeah, or some people were on the bus. I mean, if you was a diehard, you didn't
Yeah,
mind getting on
exactly.
that bus and getting to the party.
That's right. You right about that. Cause
Hmm.
at least you get down there. Somebody gonna take you home.
Yeah. Oh my God. That brings back so many memories of people be at the party, be like, how you get here? And you're like, I
Right,
took the bus down here. You give me a ride home? You know, it's
right.
like,
You're like, okay,
wow. It's like you really wanted to party. You definitely
that's
would
right.
wanted to get there and
Especially,
party with everybody.
we were going on 22nd in Michigan and
Hmm.
16, so
Yeah.
even think back then, traveling that far away from home to go to a party, but they were always safe. They were always safe, and it was
And that's
fun, fun.
and that's a important fact that you bring up. I always talk about Mendel. Mendel wasn't in the greatest neighborhood. Actually, it was in
Right,
one of the toughest, Roseland, a very
right,
poor and tough
exactly.
community. But we felt
It,
safe. I mean, we
exactly. Well,
never felt.
back then the community respected certain institutions. So now, yeah, we Longwood. I mean, we was on 95th. Well, it was a decent neighborhood, but still, you want to be
Yeah.
able. You going through tough neighborhoods to get there. You got to take the bus. But if we wouldn't even take the bus to Mendel to a party. Now that was easier than going
Yeah.
down on 22nd Street. But always enjoying ourselves though. Always enjoying ourselves. And it was just we was going for the party, for nothing else, but for the party, for the music,
Hmm. What a
you know.
couple of your just fondest memories that you just look back and, oh, that night,
Oh
that was
wow.
one of my, just, we had a blast that night.
Well, well, going to the playground. The first time that
Mhm.
they let me go, because like I said, my sister Michelle Schweitzer, Debbie Mills, rest in peace, and Lisa Mills and Boo Mills, rest in peace. That I was younger than them, and so when I finally got to go to Soy or the Mendel, I was like so excited. I mean, you just be excited just to be a part of that because you look like so much fun. But then when you had just so much fun, just dancing, like you said, till you sweat your hair out. Just we wasn't about drinking with and all that. We was there for the music, hearing your favorite DJ and actually hearing them play. I am old school because I like vinyl. I like the
Mhm.
records. I don't. I mean, the computer. I know that's easier or whatever they say. However, I do like a DJ that can play some records. That's really a lot of times why I'm gonna go to new house parties.
Yeah.
'Cause I
Yeah.
shouldn't have said that shit. But I like Steve Hurley. I mean, when you come up listening to classics and seeing them going in the crates, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When you see them going in the crates, and when you listen to a song, it ain't gonna be this song come after this song. They just playing with the crowd feel, just like men do. Just it was going. You had to bring on records. You wasn't though just bring your what you call that? What that thing that stick in the side of the computer? The jump drive.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I did appreciate about our house music that it was records. I like that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny today. Vinyl is making a comeback with a lot of DJs, so you can get vinyl, new
Oh
school, old
yeah,
school music, and
yeah.
still do your thing. It's
Oh
it's
yeah, I do
amazing.
know some vinyl DJs. Sada Bar, he's always doing vinyl, and I think Hans just had a party where they was doing no edits. So I keep up with it now. I can't be at every party, but I do listen and see. Because if I choose to go to a party, I know which one I want to go to. Because
I hear you.
you know what I mean. You know which one. If I know that this DJ known for spinning records, then I would definitely like to be there.
Yeah, and that's one thing about the early days, 1200 vinyl. There is a different
Right.
feel to that experience to what than what you have today with the edits, the remixes, and all of
Yeah.
that. There's definitely something authentic, and you knew the songs. You knew the
Exactly. And they
song
had
once.
words.
Right,
right,
you knew the words, and the words didn't jump around on you, right?
right.
You could
Yes.
sing the song, you knew what was coming next, and you're like,
Right.
and that just made it even more enjoyable because you'd
Yeah.
sing along fully with that song and just be
Right.
into it and really driving that
Exactly.
value. Where do you
Everything is
think?
looped together.
Yeah, exactly. Where do you think this thing is going? Have you been involved in the Twitch evolution?
Twitch, I just got caught up.
Streaming, people
Yeah, we're
streaming,
streaming
and
music, streaming, of course, of course. Now
yeah,
I do listen to, I can't call them that, but once once you load them down on your laptop, but I do listen to a couple of house music DJs that I
mhm,
do know, or if they put it on Facebook, what the stream is, I have downloaded several, but I do still listen to house music.
yeah, yeah.
That's what you do on the weekend. You can, nowadays, since I'm not, outside, as they say, but you still play your house music in your car.
Yeah, well, hey, you mentioned it earlier, having a CD or mixtape back then, a little
Yeah.
cassette tape, and
Yeah.
that was like gold. If you had a mixtape of Steve Hurley or Folly or
Oh, of
somebody like
course.
that,
Yes. Yes.
hmm
Exactly. Just to be able to, I mean, well, you can stream all of that. You can get you a good house music station. Is that what they call? And then and stream. But definitely to be there though, to be there was awesome. Just to see everything come to fruition, making a genre that we didn't even know we was making.
oh, right. I mean, we were just having fun back then. We had no idea
Exactly.
what would be built off of those early
Exactly. But
days.
I'm so glad that it lives on because it gives us something, I guess, to not to to listen to, but just to have good memories behind. When I think of
Yeah,
my high school years and my just life, we just did good music. What they say, if you just good music, yeah,
just good music and a good time as
good
well.
time.
Where
That's
do you see
that.
this thing going? How do you think the house culture will evolve from here?
Well, I see it evolving because sometimes I'm in Atlanta. They have house music, picnics and parties in Washington, different places that I have traveled to. So it's definitely anytime it's a person transplanted to another state, another country, it's gonna be house music. Anytime we're gonna turn people on to house music. You definitely tell people, okay, listen to this. This we call this house music. And I'm gonna play this. You definitely gonna introduce your peers to house music, no matter where you at.
Yeah, that's a good point. When we were in high school, many of us after high school took the music with us.
Exactly.
Wherever we went, whether we started our careers in trade or whether we went to
Right. In
school or
college, definitely in college,
yeah.
because I went to school in Alabama, and I
hmm
definitely had my house music tapes and introduced them to house music, the frets, everything to house music because that's where that's what I was used to. And we had a couple of people there from Chicago that could co-sign, but it was just the different. It was so different then from what people were listening to, but
Yeah.
it
Oh man,
still
so
everybody
much.
caught on. Now once they listened to it, they caught on.
Yeah, because
They
I remember when
definitely.
I got to school, we were DJing parties and you'd pay, gotta have house, and people would be looking at you like, you got some Prince? You got some Prince?
Yeah.
But you start learning that you gotta evolve them, right? You gotta play a
Yeah.
little bit of their
Right. Right.
music, play
Right.
a
You
little bit
gotta.
of that music, and then they come along over
Oh
time
yeah.
to play that music.
Because like we play old OJ songs as house music.
That's it.
Old Natalie Cole. So once you hear the different, I mean, it just doesn't sound one way.
Right.
It's just not. It just doesn't sound one way. But we do have our classics, and I do respect the classics. So. Um, if you always introduce them to the classics, so I'm trying to think of a song. Well, uh, "Let No Man Put Us Under." I mean, that was a classic. That was the
That
anthem.
is right. That is yeah. It
That
should be
was
in the
the
top 10.
anthem.
If there's a top 10 of house cuts,
That's number
that's
one.
that has to be on the list. I mean, you
That's
can't
that's number
leave.
one. Let no man
Right.
put us under.
It probably, to your point, should be number one. Probably
Yeah.
one of the most remixed, most played
Okay.
songs. And I just remember whenever that came on, everybody
It
was
was
going.
on.
Now, Love Sensation came on. And
Okay.
when that
Yeah.
came on, everybody was singing "Time Won't Take
Right. Right. They
My
got the
Away," and sing
acapella.
that long note, and
The
everybody was like, "Yeah,
acapella.
yeah,
Yeah.
hey, hey." and that place
Yeah.
go crazy. And then
Yeah.
and again, to your point, it's just so much fun and the energy and
Yes.
electricity and what was
Yes.
happening. It is undescribable. If people ask,
Yes.
I try to explain, and they're like, "What? I don't. What? It's a party. What? No,
Right. You
not
play
really."
music, yeah.
Right. It's like no. It's
But we
it's
were
the.
playing all kind of music, all races, from Frankie Goes to Hollywood to
Mhm.
uh who?
Annie Lennox, Sweet
Annie
Dreams.
Lennox. You can't go wrong with Annie Lennox, exactly. So it was not a race thing. It was a feel good. How did it make you feel? But your Boy George, that was, classic. Those are classic. You can't do
Absolutely.
Boy George. Yeah.
And you bring up
So
that is a very good point that must be stressed. People think about house music kind of in one way, but we
mhm.
play music that sounded good, that
Right,
worked well
exactly.
together. It could be
It's
disco, it could be Euro, it could be
right.
EDM,
Especially
I don't care,
disco.
electric. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
We would put it all together and make it work. To
Yeah.
your point, especially disco, but it wasn't about making
A, a
one type of
race, a
music.
color.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was
Yeah.
really about diversity, cultural diversity. Everybody come on in. Everybody welcome.
Exactly.
We love it. If you love it,
Right.
we love it. Everybody, put it in your peace pipe, smoke it all up. Let's go.
Exactly. And go bang, right? Ha!
Go bang. Go bang.
Never
Exactly
gonna
right.
stop that.
Exactly
Yes.
right. Now, what do you, when you think about the younger generations and how they're experiencing music, what would you share with them about the differences of how we came up with house music in our teen years and how they're coming up with their music? Because I know you teach and work with people that are developing
Yeah.
their
Young and
skills as young people.
impressionable.
Yes, yeah.
Well, the lyrics. Certain things that they say I wouldn't be able to dance to. I'm just gonna make it clear. Some things they say these songs don't sound appealing to me. It doesn't make you happy, make you feel a little bad about yourself. It's just the lyrics. It's
Yeah.
the lyrics and the repetition. A lot of
Mhm.
times they saying the same thing over and over. It just has no meaning. It don't make you feel good, make you feel bad, or
Mhm.
violent or angry. So that's the big difference. We had feel good songs, or even if it wasn't ever violent. I know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was never violent, but it might have been empowering, but never
Mhm.
violent,
Yeah.
and there,
Usually it was about love or love gone wrong
you're right.
or
Getting it
a
right,
happy time.
right. Happy time, getting it right, moving on. But it was never
Yes.
about hurting nobody.
Yes. Yeah. It would.
And it had, like me, I'm a educator, as you said, but I like words, so I love the songs. It's got the words, and you can sing the words. And some of these words you wouldn't want to sing, these days. You
And
just
you
would. I mean,
definitely.
once you listen to it, it might sound good for a minute, and then you
Mhm.
listen to what somebody is actually saying, and you like, how can I dance to that?
Yeah. I feel
It's
a little bit funny.
actually
Right.
right. It's
Absolutely.
actually degrading or stupid. Look, or stupid.
And that's through our eyes and
Yes,
being
of course it is. Yes, of course it is, because, like I said, I am a woman of a particular age, so there's only so much I can handle. And because every generation says that about the next generation's music,
right.
anyhow.
Yeah.
So, but
However,
I
to your
just
point,
appreciate
to
the,
your
the
point,
spirit that the
yes,
house music gives to me, and
yeah,
versus that, and
yeah,
that's just my preference.
yeah. And I
And
think,
now I do, of course, listen to new artists. And it
mhm,
might not even be house music, but I'm just saying any artist that I listen to has to be saying something relevant, credible, and tactful, just
yeah,
relevant. You
yeah. I think
know,
that's such a good point that you bring up about when you went to the house party. One, you felt safe, and
yeah,
two, the music you were going to get exposed to was not going to necessarily give you that negative energy. I'm just going to leave it
Exactly.
that way.
You happy,
Negative energy.
carefree. How the song
Mhm.
say happy,
Right.
carefree, and
Yeah.
gay? Yeah,
Yeah.
you gonna be happy, you
I
gonna
was
be
born
on
this
it.
way from a little
As
boy.
born this
He said,
way.
I
Whatever
just
you
want to,
think and
right.
do.
Yeah, you love me. I love you. I can't help it. I was born this way.
Exactly.
Let's
You're
go.
jumping
Let's
up
go
and
party.
down. If I
Mhm.
could still jump up and down like we used to now, that'd be doing something. But just because we were leaping in the air. We
Yeah.
was jumping up and down, and it was free. And you didn't look at the
Yeah.
guy and say, "Oh, he doing that." Everybody was just feeling the music. I mean,
Yeah.
sometimes it's a dance out,
Definitely.
but sometimes you just house music. You just
Yeah.
dancing. You housing it
Yeah.
up. Ain't that what they called it?
Exactly. And
Well,
they
no,
say it's a
jacking your
spiritual thing.
body. We used to jack our
Yeah.
jack our body.
Okay, we went to the Jack. We went to the
Yeah,
Jack.
we done
But
went to the
we
jack.
always say it's a spiritual experience.
Yeah.
And I remember Farley saying, to be quite honest, house may have been the first spiritual experience many people had, an introduction they had to spiritual concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And they might not have known about God. There, but for the
Exactly.
grace of God, go I, which was
Yeah.
another probably
A
top
hit.
10 house
Oh
song.
yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. They even turned Kirk Franklin stomp. We was dancing to that with the right beat behind it, with the right 808, ain't what they call it, with the right drum. But yeah, you're right because it was spiritual. And then a song sometimes it depends on your mood could go either way. It could be for whatever
Hmm.
you need.
Oh, absolutely. I tell
So
you,
yeah,
for me, it was a safe haven. Me kids, for the stuff they had going on in their house, their homes,
yeah,
going to that house party was a refuge. They
exactly,
got around people that cared about them, that they felt
exactly.
safe around. They had, it was
You could
really
always be
beautiful.
yourself. We were just
Yeah.
looking for ourselves. I mean,
Hmm.
not in substances. We was looking for it at the party and dancing at the party and being seen. What you got? Really, you know already what you got on. Either you was
Yes.
house or you was preppy. Yeah, that's what you had to pull out your fashion. Don't act like you didn't do it. Yeah. So
So now you bring up fashion, and now you are always and probably still on point, making sure you got your stuff together. I
oh
know
yeah.
we were talking about getting together. She's like, you were like, what day is that? I got to make sure I got myself together.
That's right. It had to be on the right week.
That's
Well,
it. That's it.
actually, my fashion influence was always my older brother, and he was on the house music scene. My brother Brandon, and introduced me to Gucci, Ralph Lauren. We was carrying our Gucci bags in high school, so that was just how it was. That was part of the culture. Your felines, your
Mhm.
Gucci bag, your Gucci belt. But, that was just a statement. We still went to school, did what we had to do. Most of us are professionals now. But we definitely still rock the fashions. Classics. I'm classic. I don't have to have a whole bunch of stuff on. But when I put it on, you gonna know you don't know who it is. But you gonna know it's somebody, okay?
Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay, you
Hey,
done got me started.
it was a big, that one thing about the house culture, there was a little competitiveness with the fashion, with the
Exactly.
dancing, with,
Yeah.
who you
Then
knew,
you
the
start
crew,
having dance groups and
dance
crews, but I was
groups.
never no.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, but by going to an all girls school, we was always competitive, and
Hmm.
then we from a generation too. When we step out, we put on your finest, but it wasn't nothing you couldn't sweat. You weren't gonna sweat out because you was still
Right.
gonna dance and you was still
That's
gonna
it. That's it.
kick it. You still was gonna have fun. You just
That's
gonna be
it.
cute. That's all.
Well,
Why you doing it?
well, this has been fantastic and so much fun just hanging out talking
Oh,
about
thank
the
you,
early days and
thank
what
you.
is hard to convey to people, just how electric and how much fun it was. And
Just keep
hopefully
playing the
they get a little
music.
station. Just keep, hey,
Keep
I
playing
like
the
that.
music. Keep playing the music. Keep reaching out. I'm glad I chatted with you this time. I'm always grateful. It's always a blessing just to be seen.
Hey, you got it. Well, we're going to catch you guys next time on House Culture Conversations. For now, peace.
Bye bye.